Right now at 4:30, rain and wind pummeling parts of the Charlotte area. Take a look at this new video just into our newsroom. This is from Catawba County, where we saw a tornado warning just within the past hour.
The storm bringing down trees, and it's far from over. This massive tree is blocking a road in northwest Charlotte. We'll take you live to the scene and talk to a woman who watched it come down.
Thanks for sticking with us here at 4:30. I'm Brooke Katz with Fred Shropshire.
And we are tracking severe storms this afternoon. A tornado watch in effect until 5 for more than a dozen counties, including Gaston, Cabarrus, and Burke.
We want to get over to meteorologist Aisha Scott and Chris Mulcahy. They are taking a look at the storm's path. We're going to start with Aisha. And Aisha, I know the main line is kind of moving through, but we have a second line that we're worried about now.
Yeah, and we're watching the second line. I really don't think the second line is going to be, at least I hope not as intense as the first one, because what typically tends to happen is you get that first line that moves through, it sucks up a lot of the energy in the atmosphere, so the second line isn't nearly as intense. Obviously, I still think we're going to see some pretty strong storms, and we already have this severe thunderstorm warning in effect moving through Forest City right now. Here's Route 221, here's Boiling Springs, there's Spartanburg. So this line is moving, it looks almost like northeast, if you will. So this will be moving into our viewing area in just a little bit. So this is the one we're watching, as it could be moving. Chris, could we put a track on this one if you could really quickly? It could be moving into Bellwood. It looks like also Lincolnton at this point, but I don't know if this will actually hold together. So that's what we're going to be watching. So let's take a look at the timing here. So Mayo by 4:34, Forest City by 4:40, about 4:45, Boiling Springs 4:53, Kingstown about 5 o'clock, and then Shelby about 5:07. So we start to get into the viewing area a little bit there into Shelby about 5:07. So this is the line that we're watching up next. Do not let your guard down, because we still have that tornado watch in effect until 5 o'clock, and the Weather Service may actually end up extending that watch. Guys?
Thank you. Right now, massive tree is down blocking a road in northwest Charlotte. Let's check in. Okay, all right. So let's go out live now to Richard Devane. Richard, what's the latest? Hopefully no one was hurt in this situation.
Yeah, no one was hurt. That's the good news. The bad news is this is a dead-end street. So this massive tree right here that fell across the street, Gilbert Street here, is actually blocking a number of people from getting out. You see them on the other side of the street. They have to walk if they want to get out of here. They can't drive their cars. You would think normally this tree is alive. It's got some fresh roots here, but if you go around to the other side, as Adam shows you on the other side, this tree was actually dying. It fell, and there are concerns that some other trees in this area can also fall. That's the concern that a lot of neighbors have here. They heard another tree that started to creak a little bit, and they saw it falling. They're quite concerned. As far as the power lines over here, we want to show you these power lines knocked out the power on the folks on the other side of the street. As we'll show you, Adam is showing you the other side of the street. Those folks are without power. We were talking to the Duke guys. They say it's going to be a while for them to get this tree out of here, get power restored. And by the way, I want to show you something. I'm standing in this spot. It's dry. That's because there was a car here when that big tree came crashing down. There were people inside that car. Take a listen.
And while I was sitting there, I saw this huge tree just coming down like that, you know, slowly, but it was just coming down. Almost missed my car.
Almost is absolutely correct. Just from there, a few feet to there, there's another tree that they're concerned about. They've actually moved their car out of the way, some other cars out of the way. As they look, they're concerned about the power lines, a dangerous situation, but fortunately no one was hurt. At a time like this, it's very important to stay inside and watch out for falling trees, because a lot of times trees that you think are alive aren't actually alive and could fall. It's important to check on an arborist, not today, of course, but as soon as you can. We're right here in Charlotte, northwest Charlotte. Richard Devane, we'll send it back to you.
All right, it's a good reminder for folks to check their trees. Richard, let's talk about the power crews. You said the power should be restored. It's going to take some time. Do we have any idea of what that process looks like for that neighborhood or for that area?
It's going to be at least a few hours, because the first thing they have to do is determine who's going to take this tree off. Usually if it's falling off of someone's yard into the street, that would be the city to come and take the tree off. As far as the branches that fell onto the other side, that's for someone else. So a crew will come through here, remove the tree. They haven't decided which crew will do that, and then, and only then, can they start work on the power lines. And of course, as there's possible outages all around the city, they do prioritize, and there are just about 5 or 6 homes that are without power at this time. So from the looks of it, it could take a while. And again, this is not a major thoroughfare. This is a dead-end street, so that will play into it as well. Of course, we'll keep updating, and hopefully these folks will get some power sometime tonight or possibly early in the morning.
Okay, Richard Devane reporting. Thank you for that. You and your crew stay safe.
We want to talk about your afternoon commute a little bit. Obviously pretty messy out there. Many of you heading out of town too for the holiday weekend. We do have some issues on the roads popping up right now. Albemarle Road, we have an accident reported at Redmond Road. That's causing some minor delays through there. Not seeing a big slowdown. And Tryon Street at 31st Street, reports of a crash in that area as well. I'm not seeing any delays associated with this one. Want to give you a wider look of the rest of the metro, give you an idea what's going on. Really, we're not seeing a lot of cars out on the road, so that's a good thing with these storms rolling through. Not seeing any big backup. 77 just to the south of Uptown, southbound there, seeing some minor slowdowns. No reports of any accidents though, but I'll keep an eye on that. Looks like our traffic camera went out on us, but I'll keep an eye on the roads for you. Again, if you can wait, if you're going to be doing that travel, as Aisha mentioned, maybe wait a couple of hours, let the second wave of storms get through the area. We want to get out right now to Rob. He is out in the storm tracker. And Rob, tell us what you're seeing where you are.
Well, Brooke, we are just now getting on to 85 southbound. We're actually headed to another location. We were just in Matthews about a half hour ago. We showed you basically just some wet roads, which is kind of what we're seeing right now. Pretty dry out here on 85 south. We were heading west towards Gastonia, and we're going to go up to Lincolnton, where there are some reports of extensive damage, both trees down on cars and homes, similar to what Richard is seeing where he's at. So we're going to bring you more information on what we're seeing when we get there. That should be about 45 minutes from now. Until then, we'll keep you updated on what we're seeing on the roads. This little break between the lines of storms might actually work out well for the people here in the Charlotte area because of the time for those people to basically commute home. It came while they were still at work, that first wave. That second wave still a little bit a ways away, and it's 4:30 right now, so people probably leaving early on a Friday to get home. But as I mentioned, we are going west to Gastonia and then up to Lincolnton, a little bit southwest of Lincolnton, where we hear reports of extensive damage. We'll bring you an update from there as soon as we arrive on scene. Live in the Chevy Storm Tracker, Rob Hughes, NBC Charlotte.
All right, Rob, be careful driving out there, though. We're going to continue monitoring the situation for you throughout the next few hours.
Yes, we've got a line of storms. We've seen one wave move through and now a second wave that our meteorologists in-house are watching. Be sure to keep it right here for more severe weather coverage. Back in a bit.